Alright, what's going on, everyone? My name is Chase, and today we're going to be playing some Need for Speed 2015. We're going to be looking at the Toyota Sprinter GT Apex, or the True No AE86. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the car, a little bit of backstory, when the car was released and all that good stuff. So this is going to be a little history lesson real quick. So the AE86 came out in May of 1983, and they stopped making these in 87. So, yeah, it came in a 2-door coupe and a 3-door hatch, this is the 3-door hatch. It's a front engine, rear-wheel drive car. It comes with all the three engine types are a 1.6 liter 4A, and they have three different types. They have a 4AC, a 4A GEU, and a 4A GEC. And they're all 4 cylinders. The thing that got me into this car and made me want to get it on here was I am a fan of Initial D. I know it sounds very generic with this car, because that is definitely what made this car, be on the map and be taken more seriously as a car, because it has a lot of potential. It's a Toyota. This thing will run for a long ass time, because Toyotas make some of, if not the best cars in the world when it comes to reliability and that kind of stuff. I mean, that could just be my opinion, but Toyota, doesn't really let people down. So, anyways, if you guys know what Initial D is, if you don't, I'll give you a little bit of that. Initial D is basically an anime based on this car, more or less. It's based on this kid that learns to drive his dad's car, and he has to do tofu deliveries for him, and he's done them since like the 7th grade up until now, and he just turned 18. So his dad lets him drive it, and he just races people and drifting and a bunch of stuff like that. If you want to look into that, you can go ahead and do that. And if you haven't already noticed, I basically have his car in the game. I have his Watanabe Type A rims. I made the whole wrap myself. The side right there is supposed to be Fujiwara Tofu Shop, but they don't have the exact asset, so I had to work with what I could. He has a carbon fiber hood, and the whole car is basically stock, besides some fog lights that can't be put in on the game. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll look at my performance customization. If you guys are looking to if you guys really are fans of the show and you want to stay true to the show, or whatever, I mean, you're obviously going to get all the adjustables, just because you're going to need all the adjustables. That's just how it goes. You're always going to buy the adjustables. I always go with, if you don't want to have too much performance change, I just always put the clutch in. It's always good. It really doesn't change anything but your acceleration time, no performance. You're going to throw in your suspension, your differential, you're going to throw the extreme drift tires, of course, your brakes, your handbrake, your sway bars. And then you can't really get exactly to 150 horsepower, because that's what his car was tuned for. Stock, I think the 86 comes about like 128-ish horsepower stock, but his isn't completely stock. Like, he's hit just a little bit of work, so he was tuned to about 150. So that's what I went off of, just max cold air intake, max cooling system, and that's all you're going to throw in it, basically. I don't throw any nitrous because I don't think it's necessary. That doesn't stay true to the show, and I'm kind of like that. So my handling style, where you're going to want to do the easiest thing is you're going to start in the middle. You're going to move your drift all the way over to the side, as far as you can go with all your adjustables. You want it to be, as functional as possible. And you're just going to go down, keep all this stuff where it is. Everything's going to be normal. You guys, I don't adjust any of these. You can, adjust the squat and the body roll and everything, according to you and how you feel you drive. I don't think I need them. I think they're perfectly fine. The only thing that is really a problem with this car is, especially if you throw a lot of power into it, is it fishtails a lot, especially off the line. And I know your launch control can change that, but if you want to be able to stay in a straight line even while after the line, you're going like 40, that thing will still swerve. What you're going to want to do is you're going to open this differential up. Now, you're not going to open it all the way. You're going to leave it about stock. You're going to leave it halfway between open and locked. So you're going to have a little bit of turn on each side, and they can turn at different intervals and all that, and that's going to help it to not fishtail. So that's how I like it. After that, you hit A, you accept it, and that's basically it. If you want to go ahead and make this wrap, it's really easy. You can just look it up on YouTube. Mine you'll never find, because I didn't make one. I just took a picture and I made it. So if you guys ever want to wrap for a car and you don't think you can make it yourself, you can go ahead. Sorry, and can suggest that in the comments, and I'll go through and I'll make it. Depending on whatever car it is, it doesn't really matter. I'll go through the car, buy it, and make the wrap for you, and show you step by step how to do it. Because I think I've gotten pretty good at it. This one was actually really simple. It took me like no time at all. You get some black marks around the wheels. You get just some Japanese writing. You put it on the side. You have the little parentheses for his car. Put the black line all the way around. You black out the whole bottom around the bumper, everything, and then you black out the hood. It was really simple. It was really easy to put together. The rims are in the game. They're Watanabe Type A's. Those are the rims that he has. And yeah, enough of talking about it. Let's go ahead and jump into how to drift it and how to drive this car, because it's not going to be like any other car you guys have ever seen. Alright guys, we are here on the top of the mountain, up here on the top of Crescent Mountains, or whatever the hell this place is called. And we're going to be going through some of these turns. I just started up here because I thought it would be really, really nice, really easy. We're going to go around here, come down, hit that, and we're going to stop about here. And I'm going to try to give really good examples. This is actually, I'm going through this a second time right now because it was just really bad examples. I couldn't even make a turn right. But I'm going to give you the gist of it right now. What you're going to want to do is when you're going to try to drift this car, if you've already driven other cars in this game and if you've already drifted other cars, you're not going to drift this car anywhere near the same as any other car in the game besides maybe the S15, the Sylvia, because this car is almost basically one of a kind the way you drift this. Look at that. You hear that? That was beautiful. The way you drift this car, though, it's going to be a four-wheel drift constantly with minimal to zero oversteer. So you're not going to throw it in super hard. You're not going to move left or right on the stick into a turn super hard and then oversteer out how you would drive a normal car. What you're going to want to do is you're going to brake slightly into the turn so you can initiate it if you have brake drift assist on, which you should, or whatever, brake drift assist. And you're going to basically turn in enough to where you have the right angle for the turn, and you're just going to accelerate through, and you barely correct right at the end just to close it out and go straight again. So it's really simple. Brake, throw it in. I didn't throw it in hard enough. I had to cut that just a little slight, but you throw it in enough to carry it through the turn. This I might be going too slow. Nice. This thing has you can really, with this car, you can carry a lot more power into the turns. With the acceleration, you can almost accelerate even faster out of the turn. That I did it. I did that. That was not my fault. The cars were there. But you can see I got pretty consistent with it right there. And you just let it go. There's almost no oversteer. And so you just throw it. You can just adjust just a little bit. That I needed to go in just a little harder. Just fine. But you just throw it into the turn and you slightly adjust if you really need to. And it's good to go. And you can still keep up with faster cars that lose speed in the turns using this little thing. Like, look at that. No oversteer, except for the very end. It just goes by itself, and it's really that simple. You just really got to let the car drift itself. The only thing that's going to mess you up is when you're trying to drive this car, and then you move through a lot of your other cars that are a lot easier, like using the FD or the RX-7, if you guys don't know. The FDs in this game for the RX-7. Or if you're going to run any car that's really easily maneuverable compared to this. And this is just one of a kind car. I really enjoy it. I think they did a great job making it in this game, giving it its own kind of way to drive. And I really think they nailed it. And I'm really glad that it's in here. With this, it's really weird to think too that it's also the slight. I don't know. Just with the slight amount of cars in the game that they chose this car, this iconic car. They chose this instead of like another Ferrari or something, because I think this game really does need more cars in it, and I really do think it needs to be more tuner friendly, because I mean that's kind of what Need for Speed is. It's all about customization and really intricate tuning, and I think this car really needs just a little bit more. And I think people were really let down with this game, and I really enjoy it. I still like coming on here. I still like the drifting. I still like all that stuff. Always been a Need for Speed fan. Leave a comment below, if you guys want to see me build other cars, if you want me to help you with adjustments, if you want to see, a wrap build, I can show you a wrap if you really want me to make a certain wrap for you know, whatever series you like, or you know, anything like that. And I'll use the assets and go ahead and try to throw together something that resembles it pretty good. And yeah, guys, this has been the AE86, and I think it came out really good. I hope you guys understand the car a little better. And I'm sorry this is really, you know, long and time consuming. I could have cut it down a little more, but I choose not to. I like to engage more and show you guys a little bit more information about these vehicles so you can get a better idea for them. But I've been Chase, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.